Lex shoots the guy in the head.
Yeah.
But the guy fell on the ground and blood is pouring out onto the platform. And Lex looks down and he sees that the blood is about to get on his shoes. And he's like, oh my God, my shoes. I feel like he's very, it's like me. Get down on the ground and soak up the blood.
Sure.
And Gurkos goes, what? No. And then Gurkos just sheepishly, sadly trudges forward and lays down on his back.
James Gunn, one of the best directors in the industry today, giving us hits like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and obviously Superman, which in my opinion are all top tier. Whether you like his work or hate his work, you have to admit that the man respects the comic book genre, which is needed at a time where the love for superhero movies is dying. To be fair, the love for superhero movies died a long time ago, but that's a video for another time. James Gunn, if you don't know, is now the current CEO of DC Studios, which he became back in 2023, where he announced the reboot of the DC Extended Universe, which is now called the DCU. He announced a slate of new DC movies, all connected in one universe, including the new Superman movie released in July of 2025, followed by Season 2 of Peacemaker, a DC show based on the obscure character Peacemaker, who first appeared in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. In fact, let's start with Peace himself. Peacemaker is James Gunn's HBO show. Recently, the first episode received a little bit of criticism, and there was a bit of controversy over it. So, in Season 2, Episode 1, which was released back in August, the reason for the controversy was that the first episode featured a very graphic sexual scene. I obviously can't play it here, but basically Chris is going through it. Clearly he's stressed, sad, and just going through all the motions. I get what the show was trying to convey with the scene. Kind of reminds me of Breaking Bad when Jesse was depressed and he kept having wild parties with random dopeheads and meth addicts at his apartment. Not comparing the shows, obviously Breaking Bad is probably the greatest piece of entertainment put out in the history of history, just comparing the scenes and context. The controversy isn't exactly the content per se, but more so the fact that it's right after the Superman movie, and some people are saying how weird it is to have Superman, a chill, family-friendly superhero movie, be followed up with a violent, bloody show afterwards, which includes a very graphic sexual scene in the very first episode. Now look, I can see both sides, especially since James Gunn has stated multiple times that Peacemaker is the next chapter to Superman. It takes place right after Superman, and even more recently, it leads right into the Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow, in summer 2027. Now is it kind of funny that Peacemaker, a James Gunn show in the James Gunn-led universe, leads directly into the Superman sequel, another James Gunn project? A little. But back to Peacemaker. I don't think it's the best decision, but I don't necessarily blame Gunn. It's a mature show. Literally TVMA. Now obviously kids or teens won't exactly know that. They'll just see James Gunn promoting it as the next chapter of Superman and probably click, though that's not really James Gunn's fault. Overall, I don't think the situation is that serious, to be honest. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Peacemaker situation. I wanted to address that first before going into the first topic.
Dude, I'm fucking famous.
Not that famous. Aquaman, he's famous.
Fuck Aquaman.
No, man. Don't say that. Why say that?
He bangs chicks, good for him. He fucks dudes, got no problem with that. He starts fucking fish, that's taking it a step too far.
James Gunn's humor. Now, comedy is subjective. There are some jokes I've seen people die laughing at, and other jokes that I die laughing at but others don't find funny at all. So I guess there isn't a such thing as bad humor or good humor. Comedy is different for everyone. For example, I love Family Guy and think it's the funniest show of all time, cutaways, dark humor jokes, whatever, but there's people who hate the show and think it's not funny at all.
How was it, honey?
They couldn't finish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I gotta go back tomorrow.
Oh, well, I made cabbage for dinner.
Yeah, that would be the ending to this day.
I think with Gunn, it's more so the timing and the comedy. For example, Superman. Many people were afraid of Gunn doing Superman due to his comedy obsession. There is no James Gunn movie that isn't essentially a comedy movie. Though I think Superman isn't exactly a comedy, it has a lot of it in it. Almost every scene in the movie has some type of joke in it, which I don't mind for a Superman movie, but it could have been dialed back. Some jokes landed for me and some didn't. It is what it is. Doesn't change the movie for me at all. But Gunn's humor can be seen as very juvenile at times. Peacemaker is a good example of Gunn being Gunn. truly himself is one of my favorite shows on Today, but I'll even admit it is very gunny, especially season 1. Season 2 also has a lot of that humor. There's this character in the show who says he has bird blindness, meaning he can't tell the difference between bird species. So Peacemaker obviously has an eagle, but he thinks it's a duck, so he calls it a duck. Now obviously that's the signature stupid, silly James Gunn humor, but honestly I find it quite hilarious.
What's the deal with the parrot?
That's an eagle. It's a bald eagle. It's the symbol of America. Are you telling me you don't recognize what kind of bird that is?
I have bird blindness. I can't tell the difference between one type of bird and another.
Okay, but a duck and an eagle are totally different sizes.
Yeah, well, they look the same size to me, man.
Most would find this character very raunchy and juvenile and dumb, but honestly, he's the funniest character on TV in a long while. Like every scene he is in, he makes me laugh. Every single scene. Tim Meadows deserves a damn Emmy for this performance. But like I said, a lot of people find it dumb. It usually is hit or miss for me. Tim Meadows' character is just naturally funny, because honestly, anyone else playing him would probably make the humor 10 times worse. The whole Aquaman bleeps fish thing was never funny to me. I just think it's a dumb joke, but people find that funny. It just varies for me. Same with the Superman poop fetish joke. It's just very much unfunny. I don't know why. I remember in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the whole Taserface joke was one of the cringiest, unfunny moments in the MCU, but moments like this, I absolutely love.
He could still be alive.
My grandpa? He'd be like 90-something years old.
So he could still be alive.
People on Earth die when they're like 50.
They die when they're 50?
I don't know, something like that.
What's even the point of being born?
Exactly.
Are you about to die?
I'm not 50.
I think at this point, people have to know that that's just James Gunn's style, but I understand why people don't want him near non-Superman projects, especially Batman, though Clayface looks like it's a completely different tone than the entire DCU. I think Lanterns will also have a different tone, but we will see. Still have a couple months till we see the first look at the 2026 DC projects. Does James Gunn have too much power? Should he be the CEO of DC Studios? Is he the right one for the job? Well, many people think not. I know James Gunn has a lot of haters, most of which are Snyder fans, but a lot of people just don't like him or his style of movie making. Understandable. His decision making so far hasn't been bad at all in my opinion. The movie's greenlit Superman, you know how I feel about that. Next up is Supergirl, which at the very least should be good since it's adapting the Woman of Tomorrow comic. I expect it to be even better than Superman. Millie Alcock looks amazing as Supergirl. Clayface is probably the most intriguing, so that should be fun. I expect both movies to be bangers. Will they be as financially successful as Superman? Well, we'll see. Too early to tell. As for the other projects, well, that's pretty much it for now in terms of movies, unless you count the Matt Reeves Batman sequel, but that's not part of the universe at this moment, which many might also condemn Gunn for, but he is respecting Matt, so that's what's important. If I'm Zaslav, I'm merging the universes as that is obviously the easiest and smartest thing to do as a business, but I do love that James respects Matt's decision, though none of us truly know how Matt feels about the merge as of now. We also have the Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow, releasing in theaters in 2027, 3 months before the Batman Part 2. While it's great to see a Batman and Superman sequel in the same year, it kinda confuses me as to what James Gunn is thinking. Superman movie 3 months before a Batman movie that's not in the same universe is kinda weird. I think that confuses the general audiences even more, but I guess that's just me. Man of Tomorrow will reportedly be a movie about Lex Luthor and Superman teaming up. Now, I'm hyped for the movie, but the idea of Supergirl and Superman teaming up to fight Brainiac would have been amazing. I'm kind of disappointed it's Lex again. He was great in the first one, but I don't know. We'll see. Supposedly the villain they team up against is Brainiac. Now here's the thing about that. Again, I love Gunn movies, I really do. But he isn't the most talented writer. He's a good writer and has great moments. But I say this because for Superman to need Lex to team up against Brainiac will take some convincing. I'm genuinely curious to see how this will end up. The dynamic, the dialogue, the strategy, this could be great and it could be bad. We will have to see in 2 years. After 2027 though, we don't know exactly what could be coming. Most suspect Wonder Woman, since it's currently being written by Ana Nogueira, the same writer as Supergirl. James trusts her and so she should be good. Now, will Gunn actually be the CEO at the time? Who knows? My guess is yes, I don't see them rebooting things or kicking Gunn out unless the DCU hits a DCEU state of bad, where it's just failure after failure. But Superman definitely wasn't a failure, especially for Superman standards, as his movies were never super big films, so I think it would be dumb to kick Gunn out and reboot the DCU all over again. But that's all I have about Gunn today. There hasn't been many updates on the DCU so far. We're just waiting for that big news to hit our streams. Could be the WB sale, could be some info on the Lanterns or Supergirl teasers, maybe even some Batman or Wonder Woman news, but I think we'll have to wait till next year to hear more on that. As always, thanks for watching and more videos to come.